Hey folks, hey, today's fishing destination is way down south in the Florida Everglades, and we've had a lot of rain. You notice there's some rain in the sky now, and there's a lot of current. Now one of the ways I've found fish is, this is a canal that runs right through here, and these are hyacinths. These are all hyacinths and pennywort and lettuce and all sorts of heavy cover. It's all 3 and 4 foot deep. But out here in the center, if you notice, my depth finder is reading about 4.5 feet, but there's a good current coming in. Now watch, look at what happened. The current's coming in and it ends right there, and it goes underneath those hyacinths. So I'm gonna just tell you right now, that's the kind of place you look. You find a spot where the current's pushing in, like in a canal that's all blocked with hyacinths, and it goes under it, there's gonna be a school of fish right there. So that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna take my little spinning rod. I got a 20-pound test braided line on a favorite rod and reel. This is a 7-foot medium heavy action rod, and it's a regular spinning reel, 2500 series, I think. Anyway, I have it rigged with a 1/16 of an ounce wet lead weight, just the smallest little lead weight you could ever imagine. It's really, really small, and it's just really set up for the kind of fishing I'm going to be doing. Okay, so what we have here is a 1/16 of an ounce lead weight, and it's it was pegged, but it doesn't have to be pegged, and that's a heavy duty deal. Now see, you notice the current's pushing me in right now, so I'm going to have my power poles. I'm going to drop down in just a second, and I'm going to drop my power poles first. I'm going to make a cast right over to the edge. Okay, that's probably a pretty good spot, but the best spot's down there where it goes underneath those hyacinths. And that's probably going to really, really be good. I just so you notice the current's just ripping through here. Lots of current. Lots of current. But watch what happens when I hit this edge back here, because those fish are all stacked up, and that current's flowing right underneath those hyacinths. It's just going to be a perfect scenario for catching a bunch of fish. Now there might be small. It's hard to say what size they're going to be. All different sizes probably. But for right now, there's one. I got one. I got one. He's just a little one. I'm going to put my power pole down. That's just a little fish. But the problem is, you never know what size they are. Okay, let's get this thing here. Now, where they really ought to be, this is just a little baby one. Where they really ought to be is right down there, a little bit farther down. It goes in underneath those hyacinths right there. And watch, I'll get my worm all straight, get it all straightened out, and I'll throw it into that spot right down there. And watch this, magic about ready to occur. Throw it right down there, okay, perfect. Just give it some line, let it sink to the bottom. You just pick it up. I might need to get a little closer. I'll throw it over there against that current seam again and let it go underneath those hyacinths. Let it go down, let it go down. There's one. I got him. I got him right there. Perfect, perfect, perfect. See that? That's what we want. That's what we're talking about, folks. That's what we're talking about. Right in those bushes. Just the perfect deal. That's what this whole lesson's about, is finding schools of fish. And when you find the right scenario, you can really catch them. And the right scenario in this case is those hyacinths with the canal current going underneath them. That's the spot that you're looking for. That's really, really a super duper deal. That's a super duper deal. It's a nice little bass. Who knows how many fish are here? But the point is, there's how I'm rigging it. Let me just show you. I just have a standard 5-inch. It's actually a a red flaked. It's a green pumpkin with red flake, or yeah, I think it's green pumpkin red flake. And I'm coming through the head of the worm. That's not the regular EWG hook. That's just a regular worm hook. And I left my other ones home. Come through about 3/8 of an inch though, and turn the hook around, and then bury the barb. You can skin hook it or you can regular hook it. Now I'm running that little weight again. I talked about that little weight. That's just a little bitty bullet weight. It's just small, and it's just really, really small. Okay, throw it in there again. Go right in that one little spot. Yeah. I don't know if I got the thing or not. Yep, I got them again. I got them, son. We're getting them all fired up. That's the deal. See, once you get them excited, here's the other thing about School of Bass. See, you get them excited like this, now they're starting to bite. Well, they're gonna really bite kind of quick now because, see, they're really kind of getting excited. Schools of bass, they really get excited. And I catch them like this with shiners. I catch them like this with regular artificial. But now I got the school fired up. So now they're right there waiting to bites up. So it's going to be a real quick bite. I throw it in there. Uh-oh. Ah, screwed up. Threw it too far. It was a bad cast. Got my worm. My whole worm came off. See what happens. You know, if you had two worms on 2 hooks, you could probably catch 2 at a time. Because there's a lot more than one fish there. It's a whole school. Throw it right in there. Perfect. Let it sink to the bottom. Let it sink to the bottom. Let it sink to the bottom. He's got it. He's got it. He's got it. I'm telling you, folks, once you get into a school like this, this is phenomenal. This is what it is. Like 10 casts, 10 fish or something, I don't know. Big time deal. Big time deal. And it's not, these aren't big fish, no, these are just little ones. Hey, but where can you find a school of fish just all stacked in there like this? I knew they'd be here. This is the perfect scenario. Nice little keeper bass if you wanted to keep them. Now, I don't eat bass, but if I were to eat bass, I'd save this size bass. That pound to 2 pound bass is a better eating fish than the 5 or 6 pound fish. And I don't want to keep the 5 or 6 pound fish for the simple reason that the recruitment rate's so slow, and that's the trophy fish that we're all trying to catch. So let's throw the big ones back and keep the little ones, if you're going to keep any at all, and I don't. Throw it in again. Get ready, watch the line. Be a line watcher. Be a line watcher. He's got it. Oh, I missed him. I missed him again. Missed a few. I missed a few. A good fish. Big fish. Bigger fish. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. That's a better fish. That's a better fish. That's a better fish. Get that all on the worm. That's a pretty good size one. Pretty good size one on the worm. Not just a little bitty one. Decent one. Ha ha ha, son. That is what it's all about. So I'll buck back in the water. Put another worm on. And I kind of let that worm, I was throwing where I'd been throwing over there in the corner, but then that last fish was over here to the left more. So that could be another whole deal over there. Could be more fish over there. I'll try that again. And I'll throw it right over here. Let that sweep in that way. A lot of wind blowing right now. Let's try the one more thing. I'll try one more lure. And that's the, I'll try my chatterbait. And I know the chatterbaits can be a way to catch them. That's a 3/8 ounce chatterbait. I'll throw it in over close to the weeds. Pick it up. I got one there. No, that's a good one. Ooh, that's a nice one. Look at that guy. Hey, I got a big one. I got a big fish on. Oh, son. They hit the chatterbait. Ooh, son. That's a big one. I don't know how big it is. That's a great big bass. Son. Wow. Found him with that, and look at this big guy. I got a great big one on. I mean, a great big one. Woo, son. Look at this guy. Oh yeah, look at this guy. Big giant fish. I mean, that's a really big fish. That's a really big fish. Look at this guy. And this is a big monster bass. That's a monster bass, folks. Oh yeah. 10-pounder maybe, huh? That's just a giant of a fish. That's just a giant of a fish. I wouldn't have ever thought. Here I am fooling with these fish with the small little baits, and now we catch a double-digit monster trophy bass. Just kind of, that was just uncalled for. Let me get my scale and weigh this guy. Okay, folks, I got my Major League Fishing scale right here. I'm gonna take my bass, take my big giant, close to 10-pound. I'd say it's a 10-pounder fish. It's certainly a trophy catch. It's a Florida trophy catch for sure. Let's see how big this is. Oh, son, look, 9.75, 9.70, 9.70. Look at that thing. That's a giant fish. That's a giant fish. See the scale? Look at that thing. It's over 9 pounds, almost 10 pounds, almost a 10-pound fish. Well, I tell you, before I do anything else, I gotta take some pictures of this guy. I'm gonna put him back in the water, and I'm gonna take some pictures just for my Facebook deal. And that one hit. That's so funny because I've been throwing that little Senko, thinking that, well, that's not gonna be, and all of a sudden I threw that chatterbait in there. A monster bass hit. I'm gonna go ahead and release him to be caught again another day. This is not, you could keep fish on some of these places, but I'm gonna just go ahead and release him and make sure he's all right. And make sure he's all right. Oh, there he goes. Hey, what do you think, folks? A monster bass, right about almost 10 pounds. He's so close to 10 pounds. He was 9 3/4 pounds, and he hit that chatterbait. Whoa! What a monster bass. Okay, let's try that again. I threw the chatterbait right there. Let it go down. What a fish. They're not hitting that chatterbait like I thought they would. I've had 2 to hit it, or 3 to hit it, but they're not hitting it as good as that worm. But it did catch that monster bass. Oh, by the way, there's a big storm coming right now. You see the storm? Last August, which is about a year ago, the biggest bass I caught at Headwaters, I caught on this very same 3/8 ounce bait, just like this one. And it was a 12-pound, 11-ounce bass. And it was a big, bolt lightning came down, I'd made a cast, and I just, oh my heavens, I started reeling real fast, and that big giant bass just hit me right there at the boat. And that was the biggest one I've caught over here. Really nice one. And I think right now, even though I caught that monster bass on a chatterbait and had a couple more strikes, I think I can probably take this same worm and throw in the exact same spot over there and catch another fish or two. Let's see what happens. Right there. Yeah, what did I tell you? What did I tell you, huh, folks? I tell you, the worm, the thing about the worm is 100%. I mean, it's always producing. And you know, sure, the chatterbait caught the big fish today, but the worm is just a safe bet. So I hope I've taught you a few things about, number one, trying to locate a school of fish, and number two, when you locate the fish, the steps that I take in catching a whole lot of fish. You know, the worm was the big deal, but look, I switched to the chatterbait, caught a trophy. So there's a lot of ways to approach it. You know, bass are the same great game fish from Connecticut to California. We happen to be here in South Florida. Hey, but you find this water situation moving like this same kind of cover, it could be lily pads, it could be a bunch of trees, it could be, I don't know what it could be some other state. But you can find a similar situation and catch a beautiful limited bass. Well, folks, I hope I've taught you a few things. I hope you've enjoyed this video. We'll see you again soon. Thanks for watching.